Okay, thank you, Ambassador, for sparing us your precious time, especially at this very challenging time, and you're having very tight schedules right here. To begin with, let's start with how is Ethiopia's engagement at the United Nations so far, especially with regard to reflecting Ethiopia's position related to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD?
Well, thank you very much for having me here. Let's give some perspective to the question because it was in a way puzzling when our brothers and sisters from Egypt submitted a letter to the UN Security Council and as well as to the Secretary General's office and to the General Assembly President regarding the Grand Renaissance Dam. We were quite surprised for three reasons. First, there was an ongoing negotiation, and one would not assume that in the middle of a negotiation, your partner would seek or prioritize other mechanisms rather than dealing within the negotiation that was going on. Secondly, our assumption, rightly so, is still that the three of us are indeed capable of solving the many of the outstanding issues that we have regarding the Grand Renaissance Dam. Because we believe that we have the capability, the will, and the commitment, to finalize the negotiation process. So it was kind of, as I said, puzzling when that letter was sent to the UN Security Council President. And certainly, the UN Security Council has never ever considered issues that are related to transboundary water resources and any, for that matter, any transboundary natural resources are the whole. So, because it is not the domain of the the UN Security Council. We understand that based on Article 35, any member states who assume or presume that it has a major concern regarding any given issue, it can send a letter or submit its complaint to the UN institutions. But it has never in the past considered this matter. If at all that we have to refer such kind of things, probably something similar might have happened in the 70s. That was not even in the Security Council. It was submitted to the General Assembly. So we are quite surprised for these reasons. So, and that we believe that, we still believe that the three countries are indeed, I put it in a beyond reasonable doubt that we are still capable of sorting out the outstanding issues. So that is the main issue. So we have to make our statements to the Security Council. We were not in a way responding to what has been tabled, but it is important that we had to articulate our positions based on accepted international principles. So in a nutshell, this is what transpired during the UN Security Council debate in many ways.
Ethiopia has been at least at the forefront of voicing Africa in many ways since the inception of the League of Nations and all along through many ways. And what do you think has already been played so far in terms of national interest and the continental interest again as the international arena? with the perspective of multilateralism, of course?
Well, as one of the founding members of the United Nations, Ethiopia has been always loyal to the principles and credos of the United Nations. We strongly believe in multilateralism because we fully understand the raison d'etat, or the reason why the United Nations was established. Because as one of the countries that has come out of the scourge of war, we had this commitment and faith to the multilateral principles, because that is, we believe, the only way for many countries, to handle major outstanding issues that the globe or the world face. So based on these principles, we have been over the years expressing our positions in many ways, in Peace and Security Council, or in issues that are related to development, also in social and cultural issues. So we have been to the forefront. But having said that, there are also some areas that we have done remarkably well as a contribution to humanity, to the world body. The first one I would say is that in peacekeeping, since 1956, Ethiopia has contributed significantly for world peace and security until now. It's one of the major troop contributing countries. And not only that, we are also leading some of the major programs within the United Nations. The initiative for what they call it Action for Peacekeeping, Ethiopia, in collaboration with Norway and Korea, is leading the reforms within the UN peacekeeping. Particularly, we chair what we call it Friends of Peacekeeping, and we deal on peacekeeping performance, on peacekeeping capacity building, and peacekeeping training, and as well as other, deliveries that peacekeepers are expected to efficiently, perform. So these are mainly the major activities. So you can take UNISFA in Abyei, and also UNIMIS in South Sudan. Of course, under Security Council mandate, UNISOM, and also AMISOM. So these are indeed some of the major contributions that we have done as a member of the international community, and also as a founding member of the United Nations.
What do you think is the role of Ethiopia, having played in the engagements of Africa at the international level? What do you think it will have its contribution in the coming years too?
Well, we have been given a responsibility with a number of other countries to coordinate the energy transition track. This is one of the tracks within the climate summit. And this is basically regarding sustainable energy development. Because if you take, for example, Africa, 800 million people don't have access to energy whatsoever, or access to electricity. So even if you take our country itself, over 60 million people don't have electricity. So one of the major key elements or goals within the sustainable development goal is that access to energy. Because if you have access to energy, it is like just simply pushing the critical button that will create ripple positive impacts to other sustainable development goals. If you have electricity, you can have good health, and good services. You can have education and whatnot. It is the basis for development. That's why we always say that the development of a GERD is in line with the sustainable development goal, because it is a key issue. So we have been given the responsibility not only for us, but also for least developing countries, many African countries, including small islands and landlocked countries. They have a major energy deficiency, a significant one. So along that line, with Denmark, both of us were given the responsibility, to lead this platform, which we believe that it has raised significant understanding within the international community, and particularly within the private sector. And this has been done before COVID. And we had a meeting in Abu Dhabi with a climate summit preparation. We underlined, and map out on how countries could have access to energy, mainly with the involvement and engagement of the private sector. So the idea is no one or no country should be left alone when it comes to energy sources, because it is one of the critical things that really spurs and triggers development in many countries. So we have been very gracious to be given that responsibility. It is one of the, I would say, one of the achievements that we have been contributing, as a member of the international body. I can list down a number of them. I'm just picking some of the prominent and significant ones.
People at the global arena say that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not a mere national project. It's rather a regional and continental with the potential of cooperation. And again, much further than that, again, some say it is in the best interest of the world, because it fits to at least accelerating the needs and fulfilling the sustainable development goals and reaching before time. And what's your point of view in this regard?
Well, yes, indeed. As I said earlier, again, energy is critical, particularly sustainable energy. It's not any kind of energy. You can get energy from other sources, other polluting sources for that matter. But this one is sustainable energy. So, it indeed contributes in many ways, for development. What purpose does it serve? It's, of course, definitely, it spurs growth, economic growth. It changes lives. Even at the basic level, or even at the household level, it significantly transforms the livelihood of the individual. There is no anyone that, other than Ethiopian who could, articulate what it means with the lack of energy. So even at household level, it makes a lot of impact in our way of life. So in a way, it is also part of regional cooperation. The GERD provides an ample opportunity for cooperation, not only for the three of us, the three countries, but also for other countries for that matter within our region. So even it was taken as one of the projects and the programs that would contribute in cementing and promoting, for that matter, a good neighborly relationship, and also bring economic integration with neighboring countries. So GERD has a lot of benefits, not in terms of generating electricity alone, as many of the scientists have indeed ably articulated, not only in terms of the hydrology perspectives, but it also cements a very good relationship with within the neighboring countries. So we have to sit in the spirit of cooperation. We have to sit in building a generation that believes in cooperation rather than cooperation. GERD could be taken as one of the, a pivot within the framework of relationship, within our countries. So I would say not only for the Sustainable Development Goals, it means a lot. It shouldn't be seen as a source of mistrust and misunderstanding. It has to be taken as a major project that, lays the foundation for good neighborly cooperation. Regarding the GERD, at the end of the day, I believe it is the three of us who should cooperate in good faith and trust to implement this project. We owe to ourselves, we owe it also to the coming generation. I have served in Egypt, in Cairo, a couple of years ago. What I have said back then, and what I want to say right now remains the same. Because there's any Ethiopian who has a bad intention to hurt our brothers and sisters in Sudan or in Egypt. The benefits outweighs the disadvantages. So I believe that this will resonate within our community and as well as with the people of Egypt and Sudan. Even if we pay the sacrifice, all of us, it is for our collective benefits. That sacrifice come out of for our goodwill. So that's why we say that there has to be a win-win solution. Definitely there will be a win-win solution. I'm confident, I'm very much positive that our leaders are indeed capable of charting us on the right way. We have leaders that deal in hope, not in despair. We have leaders who cultivate and nurture trust and understanding, because what we are doing today is not only for us, but also for the coming generation. We don't want to be judged by the coming generation that back then, when we look at it in retrospect, that the three of us just addressed this issue in a manner that doesn't benefit all of us. What we're trying to do is something that would definitely cement our relationship, build trust, confidence, which we would say that even if there is a sacrifice, as I said earlier, it was worth undertaking it for the benefit of our countries. So I'm confident that it's being, even though there are some hiccups and some challenges here and there, I believe it's natural, but at the end of the day, the way out is just simply to sit down and negotiate in good faith, as we have been doing it in the past. We are happy that the African Union is involved. It is for a reason, because we believe, all of us strongly believe, that there has to be an African solution to African problems. It's not just simply a simple credo or a motto. It's something that we are seeing it, and we are very much eager that it bears fruits for the common understanding, well-being of our people. We are very much grateful for the African Union. It's not only for us, for that matter, but it has sent a lot of message to other countries in the world that Africans are capable of managing their own affairs. It's not that it is written in the principle of subsidiarity in the UN Charter, but we are committed and capable of handling our matter. There are so many other issues. This could be one of them that our children down the line will refer it, proudly quote it, that with the African mechanism, the three of us were capable of handling this matter amicably in a win-win way for the benefit of our peoples.